Dan, one of the biggest mistakes that you will make in life when it comes to wealth building and money is you would keep telling yourself, I'll invest when I make more money. I'll start investing once I hit X amount of dollars, X amount of revenue. And let me tell you something, it is a trap. This is something I wish I didn't do. I wish I would have started investing earlier, even 5, 6, 7 years earlier. You're making the mistake of thinking you're young and you always have time. You always have time later, but you won't. If you don't start now, you are already behind, because investing isn't just about the money, it's about the mindset and the habits you build. Let me explain. Then when I first started making money, I had this idea that I would invest once I had enough saved up. I would think, well, let me get to $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, whatever the amount is, then I will start. But guess what? That day just keeps moving. It's a moving goalpost, right? That day never seemed to come. I would always find an excuse. There was always something to buy, something to spend on, some sort of emergency. And I didn't realize back then that it wasn't about having the perfect amount of money to invest. It was about creating the discipline and the perspective to see opportunities everywhere. It's about learning to think like an investor first, even before you have the money, even before you have the funds. That's what I wish I had understood earlier. So here's some key lessons for you. Lesson number 1, think like an investor, not like a consumer. Every time you walk into a store, you walk into a mall, you want to buy something, you are seeing the world through the lens of a consumer. So what you want to do is you want to start upgrading the lens. You start thinking like an investor, start asking these type of questions. Let's say you go to Starbucks. I wonder, who owns Starbucks? Are they a public company? Is this a franchise? I wonder what their revenue is. I wonder what the profit is. I wonder how much they're paying for rent. I might wonder how much they're paying for the hourly wage. I wonder how many people work here. I wonder what's the earning per square footage. If you go buy a pair of Nike shoes, I wonder, what's Nike's share price now? Is it going up? Is it going down? What's happening? What's the trend in the last 12 months? Do these companies pay dividends? How has their stock performed historically? When you walk into an office building, you stop seeing it as just an office building. You start thinking, I wonder who owns this building. Is it by individual owner? Is it by a private equity fund? Who owns this? What's the rent per square foot? Who is managing it? Is it the same management company? Is it in-house, right? What's their portfolio like? I wonder if they own other buildings in the area, right? And you do some research, you go online. The goal is to train your brain to think like an investor. Every product you buy, everything that you see, every service, every single piece of property, every stock, they're all owned by somebody. And you could own a piece of it too. You don't need money to start thinking like this. All you need is curiosity. And that's how you build that mindset of a true investor. To be a successful investor, which you will be, you have to first start thinking like a successful investor. You have to upgrade your lens. Lesson number 2, NIW matters way more than ROI. Then listen to me, everybody in the business world and investment world, they get obsessed with return on investment, ROI. They're looking for that crazy, outrageous, risky return. 50% on my money, 100% on my money. Maybe I'll buy some crypto, gives me 1,000% return within a single year. But here's the reality. ROI is meaningless if you don't have money to invest in the first place. What truly matters is how much capital you put to work. It's what I call NIW, net investable wealth. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are investing $500 a month, compounding 10% annually for 30 years, you will end up roughly about $1 million. But if you invest, instead of $500 a month, you invest $5,000 a month, compounding 10% annually, 30 years, you will end up with $10 million. That's really where the compounding takes off. So how do you get there from where you're at? You must drastically increase your income. Stop chasing the highest ROI and start focusing on how to grow the size of your net investable wealth. That's the game changer. And lesson number 3, improve your earning ability so you could invest more. The only way to grow your investable wealth is by growing your income. Now, it doesn't mean taking on a second job or working more hours, and you could, but that's not what you do. You're an entrepreneur. It means becoming more valuable in the marketplace, learning and honing and mastering those high-income skills that people are willing to pay a premium for. Skills such as sales, closing, negotiation, marketing, leadership, team building. These are the skills that allow you to multiply your output so you could multiply your income. Remember the time when you were working in a supermarket making minimum wage? It didn't matter how hard you worked in the supermarket. The marketplace paid only minimum wage for the skill that you had at the time. And this is why it's so critical to level up, which you will. The higher your income, the more you can invest and the faster your wealth grows. As long as you manage your money well, the marketplace doesn't reward effort, the marketplace rewards value. Lesson number 4, listen to me, this is a big one for you. As your income grows exponentially, increase your expenses incrementally. Don't spend money to impress people that you don't like and you don't even care about, and they don't care about you. Every dollar you earn today is worth more than a dollar you earn tomorrow because of compound interest. The more you save, accumulate capital, and invest now, the sooner your money starts working for you. And that's how you buy back your time. And as your income grows exponentially, let your expenses grow just incrementally, one little bit at a time. Again, I'm not asking you to be cheap and frugal and deprive yourself. Just don't let your lifestyle outpace your earnings. You're making this much more money? Yeah, spend a little bit more. That's okay. But the goal isn't to work harder to afford luxuries. I know you buy a lot of luxurious stuff, but when you buy luxuries, you're making the name brand, the luxury brands rich. You're not making yourself rich. It is to work smarter so eventually you have your investments working for you. Every dollar you earn today is a seed for tomorrow's freedom. So don't waste it on things that won't matter a year from now. You buy something like, you know what, a year from now, do I still want this? Would it even matter? Would it bring me joy? Would it bring me happiness? If not, then don't get it. Put that money aside, accumulate the capital, invest. Lesson 5, and this is a very important lesson I must pass on to you, and that is the principle of the investment bucket. Now, what does that mean? Dan, here's a rule that you need to live by. Any dollar that you save and invest, once it goes into your investment bucket, never comes out. That money isn't for personal spending or short-term pleasures. That money is gone. It is for growth. That's it. Later on, you could rebalance your portfolio, or you could reallocate how you invest in different asset classes, but you never ever touch the principle. If you just follow this simple principle, your investments will grow to the point where they can generate enough passive income to fund your lifestyle without ever dipping into the original capital. And that's how wealth is built. Your job is to make money. Your investment's job is to grow. That's it. Then if you take just one thing away from this, let it be this. Every dollar you invest today is a step toward freedom. So stop waiting. Just start investing, start accumulating, start building. And the minute you put a few dollars, you buy a stock, you buy an index fund, right? You invest in a business, it will change the way you look at things. It's like the world opens up to you. Things that you wouldn't pay attention before, now you're paying attention. Things that you don't care about before, now you care about them. And you start thinking like an investor, and before you know it, you are a successful investor. So until next time, I'll see you in the future, Dan.